want to travel. I want to go there. I want to see that. I want to be there. And I don't want to just take a picture. And just so that we're clear, when I travel, I want it to be in style. I want to make sure that when I arrive, the room that I have requested is the room that I'm going to get to stay in, as opposed to the one that they want to give me at that time. I don't want to go online and just, see what's on sale and figure out myself and then show up and go, what did I do? When I could have had a professional travel agent do this for me. And I know everybody's going to think, travel agent? Really? It's Expedia, right? You just go to Expedia or some .com thing. Like, no. That's why we have Ingrid here today with Ingrid's Travel by Design, because she's going to save you money, save you time and frustration, and you're going to have the most amazing travel experience. Welcome, Ingrid, to the Event Ensemble Spotlight.
Thank you so much for the invite, Scott.
I've done a couple dozen of these already, and I have to tell you, this is the one that I have truly been waiting for the most. I'm so excited to have you join us here today. And I want to also be clear that this is going to be a slice of pie or a slice in time, because what I know that we're going to talk about today about travel is really related to 2021, 2022, but that the rules are going to change. And I don't want to say get back to normal. They're just going to change. And with that change, I'd like to, with your permission, invite you back to give us an update on how travel is going 6-12 months from now.
I'd be delighted to come back anytime.
Excellent. So let's talk about what's going on with travel right now in 2021.
Well, people are actually thinking of travel for 2021, the fall, 2022, and 2023. Some of the thoughts that are coming up and possibly new trends for travel because of COVID-19 is that people are looking for a little bit more exclusivity. So they are looking more for a private tour instead of traveling with 40 people. They would like to have their own guide, and maybe it's just a couple or maybe it's a family. So this is keeping a safe distance. Also, people are looking for a takeover on a property. And what I mean by a takeover is it's a small villa, it's a small hotel. So maybe there's 6 rooms available and you have 12 people, friends, family that go and they take over the whole place. They may have a chef come in for several nights and prepare special meals. And so everyone coming in and out, or maybe you can't do a takeover. You don't have that many people that you want to travel with. So we can use the boutique hotels that I like to recommend. So maybe there's only 17 rooms, but again, something small, intimate, not a hotel of 400 guest rooms. So this is a trend that I am seeing for future travel.
Well, I wouldn't even know where to begin to find these hotels.
Well, Lee and I travel usually 6 to 7 weeks in the spring and 6 to 7 weeks in the fall. And this is what we search for, are these small, intimate, maybe family-owned hotels, villas. We get to know the families or the manager, the concierge, and we build a relationship with them. Earlier, you were saying about, I don't want to book something and then I get there and I get a different room, or it's not the room I wanted. And with our relationships, I always send an email in advance and say, I have a lovely couple, they're celebrating their anniversary. Please extend any courtesies that you can to them. And in the past, talking to hoteliers and managers, they tell me that an internet booking is a one-time booking for them. So with me, the bookings that I give them, it's repeat business. I help them, they take care of my clients. So if there's one room left in the hotel for check-in, but they have 2 reservations because hotels overbook just like airlines do, they're going to look and say, oh, this is an internet booking. Oh, this is Ingrid's booking. Well, you know which client is going to walk. It's the internet booking. Or let's say there's 2 rooms available and you both have booked deluxe room. Well, in Europe, when you're in a boutique hotel, not all the rooms are the same. So they're going to look and say, oh, well, this room's a little nicer than the other room, even though they're both in the deluxe category. You know who's going to get the better room of the 2 remaining rooms, my client, because again, an internet booking is only going to be one time, and business is about relationships.
Okay. So I guess I have to pay extra to have a travel agent do my travel arrangements, yes?
Not necessarily, depending on what you want. If you want a cruise, okay, you want a bus tour, then no, there's not going to be an extra charge because my commission is built into those prices. So if you book the cruise or the tour bus directly with the company, they're charging you the same price. You're paying a commission, but not having the services or experience and knowledge of a travel agent. So you're paying for something that you're not even receiving if you do a direct booking.
It just makes sense to have a travel agent.
Well, I agree with you, Scott.
So,
Definitely.
so let's talk about foreign versus domestic. Do you go both ways? Do you have a preference? How can you help people?
Well, when I was first married to my husband, who was in the Navy, we were stationed in Spain for 3 years. And we traveled as much as we possibly could at the time. And that's what started the love affair with Europe. So I specialize in Europe, river cruises, ocean cruises. Now, we have traveled to China, Russia, South America, Australia, New Zealand, Southeast Asia, but my preference and my heart is in Europe. So I really don't do domestic travel, but more international travel.
Okay, but you do have a soft spot in your heart for Puerto Rico.
Yes, from Puerto Rico, because I was born and raised in Puerto Rico. So I think it's a very special island in the Caribbean, and we got married in Puerto Rico. So for those of you who have been to Old San Juan, and if you have visited the cathedral, that's where we got married. And right across the street was the convent for the church where the nuns lived. And that has been turned into a hotel, El Convento. So right across the street from the cathedral is where we had our reception.
You know, it sounds like when you're using a travel agent that it's so much more than just, is this hotel available? Or is this space, you know, convenient in terms of date and time? But you get the added advantage of somebody who actually knows what it looks like because you've been there.
Correct. So when we go, I do research in advance and I select hotels that I want to visit. And I go in and introduce myself and meet with the owner, the manager, concierge, maybe just a room reservation manager. And I asked to see a variety of rooms, different levels, standard to, say, a one-bedroom suite. So I see all the different categories. I look behind shower curtains. I want to know that everything is clean, not just walk in the lobby, oh, this is beautiful, and walk out. So I do a thorough inspection of the hotels, and then we decide what hotels we want to put in our collection of hotels that we recommend. So it's location and it's cleanliness, and we want them to represent the country that you're visiting, not a big hotel that you say, oh, this could be anywhere in the world.
How many times have we stayed at the Holiday Inn and said, you know, and look, there's a Walmart, and why did you leave?
Exactly. And when I meet with clients, I like to get information from them. I'll always ask them about their last trip, what they liked, what they didn't like on their trips. And then I try to match up their style and needs to the hotel. I believe not every hotel is the perfect hotel for everyone. So even though I might do a Rome, Florence, Venice itinerary for someone, the next person that comes in and wants that itinerary, it could be completely different, different hotels, different experiences.
Interesting. You actually do travel tips, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes. So when we used to have our meetings, I would do the Thursday travel tip. And one that I'm promoting right now is about passports. Last year, we unfortunately were not able to travel, so our passports were put away somewhere that hopefully we remember where that safe place is. And I encourage everyone to find your passport, dust it off, and check the expiration date. Time goes by quickly and we lose track of it. And the reason I say to do that now is that most countries require that your passport be valid for 6 months from your return date. So now is a good time to look at your passport, check the expiration date. So if your passport is going to expire in December 2021, and you're planning a trip for October 2021, well, now is the
Only 2
time,
months.
correct. Now is the time to renew your passport so you are ready when the borders open to travel. And now is a good time as well because people aren't thinking of this. So in the summer, there's going to be a rush for renewing passports as people start thinking of the fall trips and beyond. So that's my travel tip right now, is
Well,
to keep
it's a
your
good one.
passport current.
It's a great travel tip, and you could see I was already showing fingers and counting and figuring out how many months, and now I'm going to go run into the safe and check my passport because I just got a call for Canada. So there you go. I
Yes.
did. But let's talk about that rush.
Yes.
It could be problematic for people once the gates open. Do you expect that there's going to be a flood of people who are going to want to travel and availability has become limited?
Yes, there is a pent-up demand for travel. I have bookings for this year, people who could not travel last year. We just moved it forward 1 year. So those people are ready to travel. As soon as the borders open, people are going to want to jump on a plane and head out. Availability is a little tricky. Some of my hotels that I use, some of them have closed permanently. One of my favorites in Scotland, unfortunately, our friend has passed away. So it's her property is up for sale, and so we'll have to see who the new owners are and how they plan on managing that property, and see if we want to do business with them. So availability could be difficult, but I've had this problem before, and I will just send an email to the owner or the manager. Oh, please, please, Roberto, Bruno, I need a room. What can you do? And they've always been able to help me out. So again, these personal relationships that we've developed over the year come in handy at a time like this.
I was listening to a marketplace report that said people are getting shots in the arm. They're mostly the elderly, and they're in an affluent position to want to travel. And as soon as they get vaccinated, they're ready.
They're ready, exactly. And I'm finding I do a lot of webinars with my suppliers. And the trend is, since people weren't able to travel last year, the trend is that once people are able to travel, instead of going for a week or 10 days, now they're looking at 2 or 3 weeks, because as long as I'm there,
Right.
let me stay a little bit longer and enjoy what I've been missing. So people are staying longer on trips. And one of the cruise lines that I work very closely with, they are meeting that challenge with a 7-river European river cruise that covers 14 countries in 43 days.
Okay, hold on. Am I overwhelmed? I
Yes.
mean, it's a lot, yes?
Yes, it is, but amazing when the cruise lines do their round the world cruises, and one just opened up theirs. It sold out in one day.
Wow.
So there is demand. There always has been demand for around the world cruises, but now even more so.
That's amazing. So, I really appreciate you sharing all this information with us regarding travel. And I probably have 20 more questions, but I like to be respectful for your time. And as I promised, we're going to come back and do this again. But I'm really curious if there was one thing that you thought you always knew to be true about travel, and then later discovered that it was not true. What was that thing?
Oh, that's a good question. I had a list of places and things that I wanted to do, and thought, well, we'll go ahead and go through that list, and that will end my travel. But what I find is that the more I travel, the more places I want to go and learn about and visit.
Yeah, I love that. That is perfect. Thank you
you.
so much, Ingrid.
It's been my pleasure. So dream now and travel soon.
Let's do just that.
Okay.